Yes.
Okay, I'm curious because we live right up there, we're building a house in that area. What does that propose for the town and the people surrounding it as far as any dangers, fire hazards, explosions? Like, is there any?
If I may, according to what he's talking about is right. He has to keep his ammunition, his powders and stuff like that in what they call an ammunition safe, a fire safe.
Right.
That's what they're designed to do. They're designed for that purpose, to, in case of something was to happen, it's contained in those safes and stuff like that. As far as neighborhood projects, I mean, you can go to like 3 sites, gun show in Billings, you know, the indoor shooting range and stuff like that in Billings. Cabela's, Shields, all of them carry multiple pounds of powder.
And they're in residential areas.
And they're all in residential areas.
Yeah.
Right. Who enforces that that's being done properly?
He goes through the
He has
state
to-
license.
Has to be licensed, but
Right.
not only state but federal.
So once he gets that license, is there anybody to come back and check on that type of stuff, or is it like, I guess
I would think
regulated,
yes,
is what I'm
yeah.
asking?
Yeah, they do,
ATF.
they do
Real friendly.
Brandon checks also.
Okay.
They do that.
Citizens of Fromberg get a discount.
Hey, we'll have a talk with him later on, because I'm already into that one, yeah.
And you're saying it would be online based, or is there foot traffic coming in? and out of that?
99% online.
Yeah, I don't personally foresee, I mean, one is I'm not established, it's a very small town. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the other FFL gentleman in town here does as far as local business. I have no idea, but, you know, gun shows and online, and I mentioned the firearms and the ammunition because that's what I call the scary part.
Yeah.
It's also accessories, so, you know, yeah, there'd be, you know, a UPS truck and a FedEx truck, which I, you know, kind of wrote down what times they come by every day. And,
So they do.
I guess I have one more question, and that is, does the town have any objection as far as having rules against having businesses ran out of their homes? I know we have them out there. I know there's probably several businesses being ran out of homes, and it's probably all been approved.
If
Through
I
this
if I may,
council.
yeah, it's on the sheet,
Yeah.
on the sign-up sheet, home business.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Is there anything that you know of, Tim, or?
I don't know of
for
anything
example?
that prohibits businesses from being run out of homes.
I do not know off the top of my head. I know there's a significant difference between, one thing I heard was there's going to be gun shows and then being sent through the mail, and that's a home-based business. That is significantly different though, zoning-wise usually, than a commercial business where people are going to show up at your home and buy stuff at your
Right.
home from that location.
Right.
And so the clarification I would just request is, are you going to be selling stuff at that home, or is it just you're going to take your items and
Ship
sell
them out.
Yeah, ship them out.
I would not even have a sign out front. I mean, you know, that's just because it's just,
That says a lot.
yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
no, it's not commercial then.
Don't have any problems with that.
Tammy had a question.
No, and I think he just answered it with that, because we do have a zoning or we have an ordinance to cover cottage businesses.
Right,
But we do not have an ordinance to cover commercial businesses in a residential. You have to, prior to this, it's always been you have to go and get sign off from your neighbors and a variance from the council,
right.
okay?
If you had foot traffic or if it's
Yeah.
that type of business.
Yeah,
Because that would have a direct effect.
yeah.
You basically have to get rezoned to commercial.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Anybody else?
I make a motion to approve.
And I'll second that as well.
We have a motion and a second to approve Daniel J. Hawks' business application, business license, all in favor?
Aye.
Welcome done.
Thank you very much, guys. I just need to know how much to write the check for too.
Kind of card.
I think business license is $20.
11,000.
Yeah. I heard that figure somewhere else.
$100, whatever.
Awesome.
I will double.
And I am the fire
It's
chief,
written
so
on
You'll
if
the
you
have
have
to-
any questions on that aspect,
I appreciate it.
please feel free to contact me at any time.
You'll have to get in touch with Harley so
Okay.
that she can, get the business license.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Elections.
That public works guy.
Oh, public works.
Do you wanna answer that one for us, Tim?
Yeah, Mark has been busy. We've had a water leak that has required a lot of time and money on the main line. And we had to shut the water off for the town for 12 hours, or 24 hours to get that done. And let's see, what else is going on? We've,
I'll make a comment on that before you go any further. I thought that went fairly well. I know that's always a cluster because you're not expecting it, but I thought that we got it repaired and whoever we used, I was up there for about 4 hours.
I wasn't there,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
very
helping put the water
professional.
back on.
they did well. They did,
Yeah.
then they were quick.
That's a company we haven't used in the past, is it not?
It is, it's somebody
I would
different,
keep their
somebody
card.
that Mark knew that, and Mark is a contractor himself, so.
I'd keep their card,
Yeah.
because that went pretty well. I don't know how the billing went, but the
And
work,
actually, I
work
didn't,
went
haven't
pretty
added
good.
it up yet because it's something we need to turn into the insurance, to see if they'll pay it.
looks to me like there was about a $10,000 and about a $5,000 check that we wrote
Yep.
in there.
Okay. So it's running about the
So-
same as what it did last year, about $16,000
Yeah.
repair water.
It's very expensive. And part of that's because it's old and crusty and
Question on that, did it actually get repaired or just a Band-Aid on it?
It actually got
it was
repaired.
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 Yeah.
Because there is a difference.
They did put a piece of C900 in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this town, and if I may. if it's
Go
okay.
ahead, Mike.
Unfortunately, this town, like I said before, I used to be the public works director in this town. And unfortunately, this town, we have a lot of main water line is the old AC
Cement.
pipe,
Cement.
which is the asbestos cement pipe. It needs to be replaced, but as in previous towns and other towns, as they do, as problems arise, that's when they kind of address it. Because to go through and to dig up all this AC pipe, there's no way this town can afford it in any way, shape, or form. So with that being said, when you have a break like that, yeah, you can put a Band-Aid on it, which most of the time some towns will do, but it just creates a problem down the road further. But they actually did go in and they did cut the section of pipe out and replace it with the 2 high-max clamps and a piece of C900 pipe.
Okay?
And also,
You just
Go
don't
ahead,
wanna pay
Tim.
for it twice.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna go on for the next project that Mark is working on. Was there anything else with the water leak?
I have questions, but it doesn't pertain to this particular situation.
So the reason the public works director is on here is for, to vote him in as the public works director. What you guys are talking about should be under the old business public works director, just so we can stay on topic.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. It wasn't clear. I apologize.
Yeah, my fault. Okay, so that is, we need to hold the questions on the pipes and stuff, or what he's doing.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and, we advertised, did we get anybody that applied? We had no applications.
Nope.
So we need to look at hiring Mark as our public works director instead of a
Public works laborer.
laborer.
Okay? Are we following the correct protocol here? Can we go ahead and hire him tonight?
Yes,
Yeah?
and I spoke with her a long time on that issue.
Okay.
Yep.
So have you discussed this with Mark, Tim?
I have, yes.
And have you discussed wages?
We talked about wages, I would like to boost him up, I believe it's 50 cents to $20 an hour,
He's at 1950 now,
I believe so.
Yes.
okay? Is that enough?
It's not enough,
No.
but right now with the budget, we will leave some room to when he gets his licensing. Then you guys we can discuss additional monies, because he's licensed then and not having to go off the bridger license.
So how quickly is he gonna get his license for the, like the?
Well, as soon as he can,
Down below.
He has a year.
yes,
Has he?
He's supposedly, if I'm out right, he did file for it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
When you file for it, he has a temporary license now.
right. He's
Okay.
running off of somebody else's.
Well, yeah,
license.
you're on Bridger's license
Yeah.
right now, because he's a temporary,
Right.
he's listed as a temporary operator. He has 1 year under his temporary license to gain his water and sewer license. And if you are wise enough and smart enough, you will send him to Great Falls to the water school up there and let him get one of his licenses, preferably the water license. It's a
that
4-hour
should be coming up this
test.
fall.
No, that comes up in spring.
4 hours,
Sewers this fall.
It's a 4-hour test.
yeah,
Yeah, it's-
Well,
it's-
I shouldn't say that. You have 4 hours to take the test.
yeah.
Yes. Yes,
So,
So he is signed up for fall school.
okay,
They also have a training, this month that he's going to with, I think it's Robin, our sewer guy that comes in and does all of our stuff. He's actually putting together a, class. There's 5 other guys that are going to be taking it as well, and they're gonna go in and sit down for a full day and learn everything to where he can take his test this fall.
okay,
So, which is in October.
so that's,
Next month.
okay. So, do you guys have any other questions about hiring Mark? Public Works Director, do we have any comments from the audience?
Only that being in that position, you're not paying him enough money and you need another help. You cannot do this job by yourself. I know, I did it for 2 years before they finally hired me help.
I know. And actually, I'm gonna discuss that here in just a little bit.
well, that was my question, whether or not that 19 an hour is enough to retain an employee that we're gonna depend on as much as we are gonna depend on him. But I also understand, Tim, that you wanna leave some room to give him a boost.
So I think once he gets his
as-
license,
As those,
that, you know,
those
most of them are
hurdles.
starting out at
Yeah.
$24, $25 an hour.
yeah,
And we haven't raised water and sewer bills in this town for I don't know how many years, but then where do we? You know, yes,
And
hardly,
that's definitely something to discuss during our budget meeting,
yeah.
yeah.
because that is something that is a budget line, so we can actually discuss that and set aside more money for, people that work here at the town.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, good. Good.
And he's okay with 19 bucks an hour?
is it $19.50 an hour?
Yes,
So he's okay with 20,
yes.
okay?
I think we ought to go to 21.
You want?
Right
21?
away?
Yeah, I'd get, 50 cents is like getting a nickel back in the day.
Okay,
Okay, that's up to you guys.
I'm
You
okay
wanna
with
Put
that.
his wages at 21?
Yeah.
Okay, let's make that a motion.
Make a motion to hire Mark, what's his last name?
Shutterly?
Shutterly.
That. At $21 an hour
As a public works
as
director?
a public works director. And I assume that you've talked about the benefits that come along with that the last person got as well, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and those include?
Those include full benefits, dental, vision. We were discussing today retirement. It's something we're gonna work into and look at this
but-
winter,
But not.
but not right away.
Okay,
Um,
okay, so that's my motion.
And I'll
Yeah.
second Dave's motion for the hiring of Mark Shutterly.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to hire Mark Surley as our Public Works Director at $21 an hour, effective immediately. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Elections. What do we have on the elections?
Last page.
Yep.
Evidently, we did not get put on.
I have texted you both and left you both
I
voicemails.
don't think that.
In fact, I've left you a voicemail at the house too though.
No, it doesn't work.
So I got a letter from Carbon County, Office of Election Administrators, saying this letter is to inform you that that at the end of write-in candidate filing September 5th, 2023 at 5 p.m., the number of candidates filing for office and council members of the town of Fromberg was equal to or less than the number of positions to be filled. Per MCA 7-5-4110, the governing body of the municipality may cancel the general election by resolution if the number of candidates filing for the election is equal to or less than the number of positions being filled. If the town of Fromberg would like to cancel their general election, please forward a resolution to the elections office no later than September 29th, 2023. If resolutions are not received by 5 p.m. on this date, the ballots will be sent to print. All fees incurred will be the responsibility of the entity. Below are the current candidates for office. Council members Tammy Taylor is a write-in and Mike Bentling as a write-in. So pretty much what it is saying is that we do not have to pay for an election because Tammy Taylor and Michael will be on our board.
Do we have any comments on any of that? Gentlemen? Do you guys want to pay for an election that we apparently don't need?
Well, I don't know there's 2 open spots, why would you even run an election?
Well, there's two spots available, these people put in for it, we don't have to have an election.
That's what I mean, like, I don't see the point, why would you would at this point? I mean, they win by default, basically,
Yes.
so, yeah.
What positions are they?
Council, it would be Dave's position and Bill's position.
Due to the wrong paperwork, we did get put on the ballot. Such is life.
What do you gentlemen think?
No reason to
Do we have a
an
motion?
election if
Do we
there's
have a
only
motion
2 people
to-
in 2 offices.
I mean, you got the spot.
It costs money to get ballots.
Yeah? Okay. I don't think we need to run an election or pay for an election that we're not gonna need. So, if you gentlemen would like to make that into a motion.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, you got a question?
Yeah, I'm just curious, what if, so they're write-ins, I mean, they're assuming the position then?
Yes.
So if you guys don't take an election, they're like, I'm in. we're
Right, we
taking
don't
it.
have an election, they're
They're committed to
in,
it.
Well,
They'll
it
be in
doesn't-
the first,
January.
January
It
1st.
doesn't matter if we have an election or not, those 2 will be.
Right, unless you got somebody to write in.
No,
It's
the write-ins already cut off, so those
basically
2
by
are our council
acclamation,
members.
like-
What if
that was
what
the-
if January 1 comes around and they're like, yeah, I don't want it?
Then you can put on a letter of resignation.
Okay.
Mhm.
That was just a question, curious.
And I've tried to get, we still got an open seat now that we've been trying to get filled, nobody's put in.
Alrighty,
Who do we wanna set up
we
there after
skip
listening to
the
us?
general election process for the 2 council members.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second not to have an election. Send it over to the election board. All in favor?
Aye.
Fall cleanup will be September 26th. And I imagine it'll be the same as it was this spring. You'll be allowed to put extra material out by your garbage can and they will pick it up, hopefully. Because we've had issues the last couple of months. Since Vern left, they've missed somebody every week.
Mhm.
So,
Including me, and I live on the main road.
so. That's the way it'll be, yes.
I missed, are you guys getting a different outfit to do our garbage now then, or?
The contract is for 1 more year with these people. And
I spoke with Mackenzie, they definitely seem to hear about it. And we could
I
definitely have.
I need to go to their office and sit down and talk with their salesperson or something. And I need to take the current contract that we have with them, with me, so we can get, if not the same, better service than what we have.
I'd make them play their hand first before you show them the contract we're sitting with,
Well, yeah, because actually in there, they provide the dumpsters, they provide.
but, right.
It'd be interesting for you to read, because they're supposed to have 3 big dumpsters provided to the town.
Brian Jones on comment on this.
Yes.
Just, I know from previous living in Joliet for all them years, we had to clean up, every town has them, but they were specific on, like, your branches had to be bundled, this and that, and if you're not putting that out to the people and they throw that out there thinking, well, they're gonna pick it up. I know they were very picky on, it had to be their rules or it was left. I mean, you could have one branch sticking out that wasn't tied and they would leave you the whole stack type deal. Then they had the dumpsters that you could go and take whatever you wanted to haul to them.
Well, we used to do that. We used to have the big dumpsters where they'd bring them in and was setting everybody hauling, and then
Is that not in our contract?
the big
Those
dumpsters. No. Not that I saw. Now, it states in there that we're supposed to have the, 3-yard dumpsters? I read that, which we don't have. I don't know where we have them, that we've never used them or whatever, but we're supposed to have 3-yard dumpsters here in town somewhere that they're supposed to empty out every week. But it hasn't, that's never happened, not that I've ever known it ever happened. Tammy,
Those 3-yard dumpsters were owned by private businesses. The post office was one, and they did away with theirs because they could do a smaller one. Diane did one, and I think Sue had one at the Tomahawk.
Yeah, we have to
And-
pay a monthly up.
And that was where the 3-yard dumpsters were at. They were never anyplace else.
but that should be paid for. What is our bill? It's $55,000 or something like that.
For monthly?
No, for a year's worth of garbage,
Our contract.
our contract.
About that, yeah.
It's about $55,000 a year, that's a lot of money. My hope has always been that Bridger had talked about buying a garbage truck and we could contract with Bridger. But that hasn't happened. But anyway,
Well, I was just going back when you say if you just put it out on that
Yeah.
fall day, if you don't, if you think whatever you're gonna put next to your
When you
dumpster, they're not
post
gonna
it,
pick
would
it
you
up.
post whatever
They
rules
do.
they're gonna have?
This company will,
They
they
will.
pick up. You don't have to bundle it, you don't have to bag it.
Okay.
What they allow you on cleanup day is the equivalent of a pickup load.
Okay.
And I will double check into that and I will make a flyer and hang it up and,
Yeah.
try to get the word out there for
That's
that.
great, if that, the one in.
That's
Oh, that was
Mackenzie
tough.
over there, and
Yeah,
they might be pickier.
they will.
Okay, do we have anything else on fall cleanup? Okay, old business. Brian Jones Water Service.
I don't have nothing.
You have really good news if that happens, but that's okay.
We're just on the agenda to get an update where we're at, and the only thing that I could ask of, along with the planning, so that I can actually help out the city, is if we can coordinate it, that it be all on the same day, cause I'll go rent a backhoe or a mini X so that we can bring that in. You guys can do what you need to do, work together on that, or be able to help with it.
That would be nice.
That's,
Harley, go ahead.
So I made this my mission before I went on maternity leave, to get this going somewhere in a direction it's gonna happen. So tomorrow, they are actually running a mini excavator to start their work project up there tomorrow. Mark Shutterly has a gentleman that is helping him do it as well. So that project actually starts tomorrow morning, and they're gonna start laying that line.
okay, should I be getting with Mark while we're figuring out where, I mean, everything that we have up there is temporary. Is that where you guys want that water meter, or do we wanna bring that down further so that it's access?
We
I
should-
guess is
Well,
what
I
I'm
think
getting at
I
is
would
if
be
you leave
talking
it
with
right.
Mark.
We
Okay.
should
to
have
see.
Mark get with you at the job site
And
just
go over
probably
exactly where
spray
the
out,
plans are.
spray out where,
Do,
Cause-
not knowing this, I mean, I'll take the time off of work to meet with him, but I can't take tomorrow. I mean, I gotta
Yeah.
do my job a little bit.
Well, they're supposed to
It's gonna
start
take
on,
some
and it's
time.
gonna take, I know he's got the pipe in the back of the pickup now.
I think it's actually up at the
Up at the
2 inch,
site?
gonna go with the 2 inch.
And, I know it's gonna take him some time to dig around the gas lines and the water lines. Just- We don't know exactly
Where
where
you're
the
gonna
water
tie it
line
into.
ends.
Oh,
the main
for
water
up above,
Up above.
That's
There.
right.
cause there
And we
is no
don't know-
gas line going through where that road and stuff,
Yeah,
that's all
it's
abandoned.
disconnected, it's vacant.
Yeah, there's no,
But yes, if you could get with him and offer to
do
help.
I have at least probably a day or
Yeah,
whatnot to get with him and we'll.
because it's
come
gonna
up
take
with
him a
plan.
day to dig up. They'll get the equipment and bring it out.
Okay.
And we can rent it for $1,200 for a week. We figure we ought to be able to get it in a week.
Oh, yeah. So, there might be something there with that all being there that I would be, well, better talk with the other half, but,
We're not on
you
the
know,
agenda.
from where that comes from the house, I didn't know how much digging I was gonna have to do, or if that bank's gonna come down anymore, cause that's.
Well, and
that's where
we're
we need to get with
responsible
the
for
mark.
everything from the house to,
That's where
Yeah.
we are.
that's,
But if you put it off on that, where we just kinda temporary put that to
Yeah.
get us,
And
so we wasn't driving over it basically because we're using our yard as the driveway because the road ain't there. We didn't wanna be breaking a water line
yeah.
going
Yeah.
there, so now that
Mark
we have
should
a
be able to go
plan.
up there and spray the meter, can't he? Where the
Well, it's
meter's gonna
all,
go?
it's all already put in. And as far as cutting the road down, I've talked to the county, try to get somebody in with a dozer to push that over. That's not gonna happen. Mark is, we talked about going up there and push, the dirt cannot be compacted. And they don't wanna use that dirt. So we're just gonna try to get it the best we can, and we're just
What I'm
gonna,
getting at is if you're gonna go 6 foot below frost line, you're gonna be basically at ground level.
In that dip.
yes.
No, not even the dip. You could go 6 feet there, I mean, and that's gonna affect when you get the road and obviously
Well,
that's,
he's gonna have
that's
to go
down
all
the
the way.
line.
The
But
trench is gonna have
if you
to-
follow natural grade, you go through the dip, 6 feet there, and come back up on that hill,
Yeah,
6 feet, you're gonna be at my ground level.
Yeah, and your ground level, your line is probably 10 feet down now, isn't it?
That's as far as that
It's-
backflow from the
it's-
town will reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's on top of the hill. Now where I'm at, I'm only 5.5 maybe, where our property line, I'm about 5.5, but up on
Well,
top
top-
up there, that's.
Talk
But it
with
would
Mark,
Right,
and
that's-
as far as moving that dirt, making a road up there, my hopes of having another road there is gonna cost too much money, and we can't get it done.
And
So, which is, okay, we'll go with that, even though that's what we had
can work.
planned on.
Yeah.
But the point is also then, you're saying the dirt's gonna stay where it's at? I mean, you guys have been up there, we got a bank like this,
yeah.
it's gonna stay there?
It'll probably stay there. I can't
I'm
get-
gonna have to do some talking, because
Yeah.
we're gonna be dealing with runoff and everything there.
That, I
And
mean,
none of that, that water line isn't gonna be 6 feet.
Now, all that dirt that's been piled up there, we'd hoped, and I talked to Mark about trying to get that pushed into that gully as.
Now, I can take a lot of that dirt, I can take some if you, I don't wanna get in a piss and match with the town and mess with your guys' property, but I can take, cause I still have backfill around, not a lot, but I have,
some of that dirt is
Some.
removed from our property, we can take care of that, that's not the problem. It's the point that when we started this whole thing.
We had
we'll go
planned
back-
on going and taking that
Right.
hill down and moving all that,
Yeah,
and the county kind of, they put the kibosh on all that.
Why can't we
The-
move that dirt?
I would say the dirt could be moved, you
Well,
just
what
can't
they-
put a road.
The dirt can't be compacted.
I understand we can't use it to build a road, why can't we remove it?
Yeah,
Well, if
That's
we
my
remove it,
question.
then we have to haul dirt in to fill in the thing.
but
and-
wait, to a point, you're going off a natural grade, or natural soil. There's a difference between your soil bases, when you're putting it in and filling it, to get compaction compared to what you have undisturbed. So if you cut down
To where it was.
to where it was, obviously you're still gonna have to bring some, but that compaction is gonna be 75% more compacted than what we're gonna be,
The
what you
hill.
would be putting in that ditch.
Yes.
So cutting that down takes you down to natural
Yeah,
soil.
and I don't see
which
why we
gets
can't
your
move that
compaction.
dirt out of there.
that's what I don't understand.
My only thing was when I get where,
It's gonna be more than several weeks worth of work hauling that dirt out. And
This-
where
Cause the
we
dirt
put-
can't be pushed into the gully,
They do not wanna put it in the gully,
even if it's not used for
Okay.
a road.
even if it's not used for the
Okay.
road.
the county line stopped, the roadway is supposed to be 25 feet. From our property, the town has 25 feet from our property to that, and that is county then, from there. My suggestion, and it's my suggestion, and it might not be the best or it might not be the prettiest right now, but I think it's gonna be something that's gonna save you. If a road or whatever gets put down there, eventually will be time consuming and money consuming, is we need to do is take that dirt and push it towards the county line, cause you're not gonna use 25 feet of road, there ain't a 25-foot road in this town. You can take that, not only that, that'll give drainage from the hillside and it'll go right to the
Ditch.
canal, to the ditch.
Yeah.
That's my suggestion, and that would take less than, I can do it with a loader in less than a day.
Who's telling us what we can and can't do with that? The county?
Well, I talked with the county supervisor in Joliet.
Uh-huh.
He came over, looked
It don't
at it, and he said that dirt will not compact. They said we should not ever attempt to use that on a road. And we would have to haul it out, take it down, haul it out, and then bring in a different type of soil. And then road base and build a road out.
Okay, so, that's what he's saying, is you gotta get down to your natural and build it up. You're gonna would have to do that regardless.
It's a lot of work
Yes.
and time and money, and I'll tell you.
How much dirt are you talking about?